After recording audio, applying effects before editing can improve the quality. The demonstrated techniques in this section are noise removal, normalize, and equalize. Applying the effects before editing creates a consistent audio quality throughout the narrative. For this example, we'll record the following script. This is an example of applying effects for noise removal, normalize, and equalize. Now that we have our audio file, I'm going to just take a look at this front end section, and notice that as we zoom in a little bit, you can see there's a little bit of background noise, and that's the focus of this first technique on noise removal. So what we're going to do is create a sample section and then apply that to the whole thing and remove anything that is to that similar pattern. So to do that, we've selected the area. We go to Effect, and now we're looking for the noise reduction option. And our first effort is to get the noise profile. So our step one, we've already selected the area, so we'll click Get Noise Profile. Now that we have that segment selected, we're going to select all. This can be done by Control-A or Command-A, depending on the platform you're on. So we've selected all of the content. Now we pull up that very same effect, noise reduction, and we will apply the effect. And so this is, now that we have all of the audio selected and indicate the amount of noise to reduce, we will click OK. And you'll notice that the line is now flatlined in some of those areas where there was a little bit of debris. So the first opportunity is to remove the noise, and as we play, this is an example of applying. So as we play through the track, it's just a lot cleaner. There's none of that background noise. While we've got all the content selected, the next step is to normalize the content, just to even out some of the peaks and valleys. So we go to Effect and to Normalize. And we've already got some default settings here, and we're just going to go ahead and apply this, and you'll notice what happens after the application. As we look at the top and bottom levels of each stereo audio channel, in this case, you see the 1.0 and minus 1.0 region. Some of the lower levels have been boosted up, the higher levels have been expanded up, but also not accelerated beyond the point where they would run into distortion. And you can see in the normalize option that normalize maximum amplitude to the 1 decibel range. We'll do one more. If you double click, you can select all. So in this case, we'll double click to select all. And the next effect is we'll do equalization. Equalization is done to support that mid range. It works particularly well for male voices. And so this is done by clicking at about the 40 hertz range, and right around or just shy of 100, and then up around the 200 range. And this little white dot that's nestled by the 100 range, we're going to move that up and move that mid-range up. So we're going to get a fuller range in this part of the audio spectrum. So we'll click OK, and now you can see the audio has been rounded up a little bit. We're now bumped up closer into that 1.0 range, and now we can listen to the content and see how it sounds. This is an example of applying effects for noise removal. So we've pushed it a little too much, and it's getting a little bit distorted. Control-Z will back us up. So we'll take away the effect, and now we can hear. This is an example of applying effect where it was before. And so in this case, maybe I did it just a little bit too much. And with any of these options, the goal is just to try it out and to see what works best for the particular range that you've got. So we'll try 40 and into that 100 and 200, and maybe we won't go as high. So we'll try a little bit different range here. And now we've got that same thing. We're not pushing at the 1 and minus 1 levels. Let's back up here and see how it sounds. This is an example of applying effects for noise removal. So it sounds maybe a little more full, and depending on your voice, you can experiment. So the first two techniques approach the noise reduction to remove some of the background noise, The second, to normalize, to even out some of the peaks and valleys. And then third, if you want to experiment with the equalization. That's the sequence of approach to support the quality of the audio. And these are the most common techniques to basically improve the quality of the audio that's being presented in your narrative.